Now, the establishment of the county aggregation and industrial parks, as well as setting up of 5 new special economic zones, coupled with harmonization of standards, are expected to drive up the contribution of the manufacturing sector to the gross domestic product. Now, Industry Principal Secretary Dr. Juma Muhwana says high cost of production, a weaker shilling and global competitiveness are among the factors that slowed the manufacturing sector in 2022. The manufacturing sector contributed about 7% of the GDP due to, among others, high competition from imports.
Global competitiveness, also regional competition. We now have quite a bit of manufacturing going on in the region. As you know, initially Kenya was the main player in manufacturing. Now we have quite a bit of manufacturing within our neighbors in Uganda, in Tanzania.
Dr. Muhwana says the government has put in place strategies to double the contribution of the manufacturing sector by the year 2030. Among the strategies is the establishment of the county aggregation and industrial parks, setting up of 5 new special economic zones in Sagana, Thika, Kericho, Eldoret and Busia.
This is where the big boys are. The people who want to manufacture for the region will come in, and we are targeting a number of value chains. So we see that with those kind of initiatives, we should be able to take our manufacturing back to 10% of the GDP by 2025 and take it to about 15% by 2027.
Even though the Kenya Bureau of Standards has over 9,000 standards, only 10% are in use, yet over 3,000 goods don't have standards.
We need to embrace ourselves and revive and revitalize the usage of the international standards.
So as we develop standards at Kenya Bureau of Standards, we normally ensure that we are benchmarking with international standards so that we can be able to facilitate trade.
We've also come across different products in the market. For example, if you talk about cement, that sometimes we have 2 standards for 33%, 42%, but we have cement that is 72% that may not be covered. So I think it's a good time to reflect, for the council to go back and ask ourselves, if only 10% of our standards are being used, what is the problem with the other 90%?
He says to fully reap the benefits of the African Continental Free Trade Area, countries should embrace mutual recognition of standards to boost cross-border trade and economic integration.
When we signed the AFTA agreement, Kenya made its first sale to Ghana of tea. The tea from Kenya to India and China takes about a week. To Europe, about 10 days. Our first sale to Ghana took us 4 months for the tea to move from Kenya to Ghana. That is what we are talking about.